With the 2024-2025 NBA trade deadline officially over, no more trades to be done. All it is going to be the buyout market with guys like Daniel Tice, Mo Bamba, maybe Ben Simmons, who can get bought out by the Brooklyn Nets, which has been rumored. All of the trades have been finalized and done. So we're going to cover all the trades that have happened. I'm going to honestly skip over some. I'm going to mention them but not fully go into them because a lot of them had to do with the second apron and trying to stay under the luxury tax. Trying to just get off some contracts. So I'll cover all of them, but I won't go in depth to all of them. First one I have to cover though is the Jimmy Butler trade, which has been rumored to have happened for the last like 5 weeks or so, 4 weeks or so. It's just been an insane amount of drama, suspensions, Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler going back and forth through the media. It's just been a bunch of mess over there in Miami, and at this point the Miami Heat really didn't have any leverage in this deal. Everyone knew either Jimmy Butler was going to get traded or he was not going to play for the rest of the season and force his way out in the offseason. That's pretty much how it looked. And then the trade happened it was last night. Jimmy Butler got traded to the Golden State Warriors in a 4-team deal. Or was it 5-team? It was 5-team or 4-team. I have 4 teams up here on my screen though that were in this deal. The Warriors, the Miami Heat of course, and the Detroit Pistons and the Utah Jazz. The Warriors of course get Jimmy Butler. They gave up Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson. I don't know if that's their first round pick. I'm assuming it is. Lindy Waters and Dennis Schroeder, and a second round pick also went to the Jazz. So I'm going to cover the Warriors side of this. They gave up that and got Jimmy Butler. I think this is solid. They already re-signed him to a 2-year deal, which is $60 million a year on that extension. That is crazy for Jimmy Butler at his age. He's still a really good player. I think he'll be a borderline all-star for the next two years or so. I don't think he's close to being a lock, but I think he's going to be a borderline all-star for the next 2-3 years, for sure. And on the Warriors, also bigger market, more of a fan base as well, even though it is the Miami Heat that he was just playing with. So Jimmy Butler, fit-wise on the Warriors, I think it can work for sure. Steph Curry alone provides enough spacing where Jimmy Butler isn't going to be forced to be just standing there in the paint with like 4 people crowding him. Steph Curry is going to demand a lot of attention as always. Still got Draymond Green out there. This contract extension does worry me though about Jonathan Kuminga. I don't think they're going to be able to pay Jonathan Kuminga, and giving Jimmy Butler $60 million a year is kind of crazy to me. You're kind of picking Butler over Kuminga, and Kuminga is obviously the younger guy. So Jimmy Butler is obviously an upgrade from Andrew Wiggins, even though their stats are pretty similar. I think without a doubt everyone would agree Jimmy Butler is the better player, and we haven't seen Jimmy Butler play like real passionate basketball in a while. It seems like where he actually wants to play, like wants to be out there, wants to play. So we'll see how he is with the Warriors after getting a bag, guaranteed bag. And I think the fit is decent. I don't think it's like a perfect fit or anything, but I think it's decent enough and gets the Warriors closer to contention than they want to be. And I like it for the Warriors. I think they are still a couple pieces away from really wanting to contend still. I don't think this is a perfect roster, but I think Jimmy Butler does give them a playoff, like where they can go to the second round, maybe the third round if Jimmy Butler's really on one in the playoffs like we have seen before in the past. But yeah, putting a nice co-star alongside Steph Curry. Jimmy Butler can pass. He can shoot the ball decently well in lower volume though. He's been shooting it decently well and puts rim pressure. I think this is just a solid pickup for the Warriors. They did look pretty desperate out there during this trade deadline. They were rumored about Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and they did get Jimmy Butler. They were just rumored about a bunch of people, Vucevic as well, and they just never got him, and this kind of seemed like a desperate deal. And they did get their guy. I mean, they got what they wanted, but I think they are still a couple pieces away from really wanting to do something with Steph Curry's last couple of years of really, really good basketball. So for the Warriors, I do like it. It's decent. Nothing I really love, but it's decent enough. And for Miami, they got Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker did get moved later on, though. Kyle Anderson and a protected first-round pick. I don't mind this for the Miami Heat. Really, everyone and their mom knew that Jimmy Butler did not want to play there anymore. And getting Andrew Wiggins back, Kyle Anderson, and a first-round pick, I don't know the protection on the first-round pick. I don't think that's a bad deal at all for Jimmy Butler, especially with the fact that he was really forcing his way out of there. Did not want to be there at all, was kind of causing a lot of drama over there. getting this back is not too bad at all. Keeps you like competitive enough. Puts a lot of, you know, decent role players alongside Tyler Hero, who's having a great year. Bam Adebayo has picked it up. Kel'el Ware has picked it up as well, like one of the best rookies in the draft. Just solid role players to put alongside those guys. Keep it competitive, and also getting rid of that drama itself was a very positive move for the Miami Heat. So I like this for them. I think I like it for the Miami Heat more than I do for the Warriors, honestly. In just the fact that they got rid of the Jimmy Butler situation and still got back decent role players in a deal where they had no leverage, really. So for the Detroit Pistons, they got Lindy Waters and Josh Richardson and a second-round pick. I really like this for them, honestly. Like, this was a very good pickup for the Pistons. Just got a nice shooter in Lindy Waters, nice two-way guard with Josh Richardson and a second-round pick while giving up nothing. Like, this was a very, very nice pickup for the Pistons, and they were able to do this, if you didn't know, because they actually had money to spend and roster spots to fill. So why not just give up these guys or get these guys? And they're just pretty solid players to put alongside Kate Cunningham and all of those guys on the Pistons. The Jazz got Dennis Schroeder. He ended up getting moved, and a 2032 second round pick. No, don't care about that at all. So for the Warriors, I like it. It's decent. I really like it because they got decent role players in a trade they got no leverage in. Pistons, I really do like it because they got decent players for nothing, like literally nothing. So there's the Jimmy Butler trade, and on top of that, if you missed what I said, Jimmy Butler did go on to sign a 2-year $121 extension with the Warriors. So that is $60 million a year. That is kind of crazy, and that's for a player who's definitely on the older side and he's not in his prime anymore. But we'll see how it works out. The Warriors are trying to get that last dance with Steph Curry and Draymond Green and all those guys. So we'll see how that works for the Warriors. Next trade was the Kyle Kuzma trade. This was interesting. The Bucks got Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and a second round pick. They ended up waiving Patrick Baldwin Jr., I believe, or they ended up trading him, I think. I don't know what it was. The Wizards got Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, and a pick swap. For the Bucks, I mean, I guess it's okay. I don't know if this trade had to do with the second apron or not. But if it didn't, this was kind of just a weird trade. Chris Middleton was there for how long? Like 12 years or something. Like, he's been there for a while. One of the key players on the 2022 or 2021 championship run. And they traded AJ Johnson, another player I liked for the Bucks, and they traded him. Just a young player. Why not keep him? I don't know why they chose to trade him there. In a pick swap. Yeah, I honestly don't really like this for the Bucks. Kyle Kuzma has not been that good this year at all. He's been having career lows, but like he's dropped since last year for sure. Patrick Baldwin Jr., they don't have him anymore. And a second round pick compensation. Yeah, I just don't really like this trade for the Bucks. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think this like really helps them in any way. I guess it gives you a shooter, like a forward shooter alongside Giannis. But then again, he's not been shooting the ball that good. So yeah, I don't really like this deal. Chris Middleton hasn't been able to stay on the court though. That is one knock on his game as late. It's not like he's been like a consistent 15 points per game every night. He hasn't been able to really stay on the court. Kyle Kuzma has. So I guess like if you want to, win as many games as possible, have a guy ready for the playoffs, a guy who has a championship experience with Kyle Kuzma, why not, I guess. But this was just a kind of a weird trade for me. I don't know if it had to do with the apron or not. Tell me down in the comments below. I don't mind it for the Wizards, I guess. Got a guy like Chris Middleton who doesn't have to worry about playing very pressure basketball and can sit if he needs to. He doesn't have to worry about leaving behind a championship roster that needs him. So Chris Middleton, I guess. AJ Johnson, I like to pick up for the Wizards. But for the Bucks, I don't know why they gave him up. So for the Bucks, kind of I don't know. I don't really like it that much for the Bucks. For the Wizards, why not take on Chris Middleton's contract and get rid of Kyle Kuzma, who was not that great for them. Another trade, Mavericks get, this was a little bit later, so I'm kind of late on this trade, but I wasn't going to make a whole video on it, so covering it now. The Mavericks trade Caleb Martin, or they get Caleb Martin, and the 76ers get Quentin Grimes in a 2025 second round pick. Another Mavericks trade I don't like. I don't really like them giving Quentin Grimes. I thought he was been playing really good for them. Caleb Martin, I guess, why not get a forward, but I thought Quentin Grimes has been playing really good. I'm not going to lie, for his position and what he's been able to do. So another Mavericks trade I don't really like, I'm not going to lie. The Washington Wizards trade Jonas Valanciunas to the Sacramento Kings. Another Wizards trade, and the Wizards in return got Sidy Cissoko and a second-round pick, or 2 second-round picks. I believe the Wizards ended up waiving Sidy Cissoko, so they really gave up Jonas Valanciunas for nothing. I don't know if this had to do with the second apron. I don't know if this is what it was, but for the Kings, I guess, I don't know. I guess Jonas Valanciunas can do something for that team. I mean, he's been solid. And for the Wizards, 2 second-round picks and Sidy Cissoko, I don't know. I'm not going too much into that trade. The New York Knicks, a part of the Kyle Kuzma trade that I was just covering, traded Jericho Sims to the Bucks as a part of that trade. So the Bucks got Jericho Sims, Kyle Kuzma, and they got Patrick Baldwin Jr., who they don't have anymore. And the Bucks also sent DeLon Wright and cash to the Knicks for Jericho Sims. So yeah, that didn't really move me at all. I'm not gonna lie. That was I still don't really like it for the Bucks. Another trade, the Raptors trading Davion Mitchell to the Miami Heat for PJ Tucker and a second-round pick. We're gonna also get into another trade that the Raptors did, but this one, I guess why not get PJ Tucker, who's a nice locker room guy, a guy who will bring grit to that team. So going into what that Raptors deal was, they got Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Pelicans received Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. For the Pelicans, I don't mind this deal. Brandon Ingram, of course, talent-wise, is the best player in this deal for sure. But for a couple years now, it's been rumored he wants to leave. I don't think they wanted to pay him or re-sign him. I think he was going to leave in the offseason anyway. And for the Raptors, I mean, I don't mind to take a chance and only giving up Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and a first-round pick. Not bad. And if they are able to re-sign him, that's not a bad lineup with Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, RJ Barrett, like just solid players out there. I think they might be building something, or maybe if they get rid of Brandon Ingram in the offseason, let him walk, they do free up some space to sign some guys. So I actually like this for the Raptors. They have multiple ways of dealing with the offseason with Brandon Ingram now. So yeah, I like this for the Raptors. Pelicans, Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk, fine player, why not? They get a first-round pick as well, second-round pick. I like it for the Pelicans. I like this deal for both sides, I'm not going to lie. Pretty decent deal. And a report right now that I just get from Hoop Central, Torrey Craig signed with the Boston Celtics. I didn't even know he was a free agent, I'm not going to lie. He may have been recently bought out. I was not paying attention. Solid pickup for the Celtics, just adding another decent, solid role player alongside that super team they already have. So another team that's been making a decent amount of trades is the Atlanta Hawks, and I do not like what they've been doing this trade deadline. The Hawks trade DeAndre Hunter to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and in return, they get Karis LeVert, George Niang, 2 pick swaps, and 3 second-round picks. DeAndre Hunter was one of their best players this year, a two-way forward, and they traded him for Karis LeVert and George Niang. It looks like they're trying to tank borderline. Yeah, I don't really get this trade for the Hawks at all, and if you want to say they are tanking, they don't have their first-round pick this year. Another trade they made, they traded to the Clippers Bogdan Bogdanovic, one of their best shooters, and 3 second-round picks for Terrence Mann and Bones Highland. What are these trades? I do not understand this at all. I don't know what the Hawks' direction are. I don't know if they're going to want to try and trade back their pick this offseason or something. I really don't know at all what they're doing. It looks like they're tanking without their first-round pick this year. And also, immediately after this trade deadline was up, I was immediately hearing rumors Trae Young's future with the Hawks is getting a little murky. Like, we don't really know what's gonna happen with Trae Young now, because I don't know what's happening. I didn't really cover this for the Cavs, by the way, but I really like it for the Cavs. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen as their starting lineup. That is scary. That is a scary lineup. I really do like it for the Cavs. Karis LeVert was decent, George Niang was decent, but they get DeAndre Hunter, one of the better two-way forwards that can stretch the floor. I really do like this. He seems like a championship-type player who can, if they go against the Boston Celtics, can guard Jason Tatum or something. So, yeah, I really do like this for the Cavaliers. The 1 seed making moves. That's what I like from the 1 seed. I don't like 1 seeds when they get complacent and they just, run it back with the same squad they had last year. They want to upgrade. They know the Celtics are out there. And they know the OKC Thunder are out there on the West. They know all that. They want to upgrade, especially with how they've kind of struggled against higher seeds, or like the highest seeds in the West and East. They want to upgrade. They know they're not perfect just because of the first seed. I like this from the Cavs a lot. I really do. From the Hawks, I don't understand. I really don't like it. Another Wizards trade. The Wizards making a lot of moves. They get Marcus Smart, Colby Jones, Alex Len, and a 2025 first-round pick. The Kings are in this deal. It's a 3-team deal. The Kings are in here getting Jake LaRavia, and the Grizzlies are in here as the 3rd team getting Marvin Bagley the 3rd, Johnny Davis, and a 2028 second-round pick. For the Wizards, I mean, why not? They get Marcus Smart. They have a Marcus Smart, Chris Middleton, Jordan Poole. Just solid, I guess. Like, why not? They have nothing to lose, really. They're already really bad, so why not put a little bit of veteran leadership in that locker room? Kings get Jake LaRavia. Why not? I guess. Grizzlies get Marvin Bagley and Johnny Davis. I guess. Like, these are just, like, I guess trades. I don't really have any real opinion with them. With the Wizards, they're getting the most well-known player with Marcus Smart. I like it. I don't mind this trade, and they can use Marcus Smart as a trade asset for a championship contender later on as well. I don't mind it, and also gives them some veteran leadership as well. Another trade that happened with the Los Angeles Lakers. I knew this trade was going to happen. Well, not this specific player, but I knew they were going to go out and get a center. There was no way they finished this year with Jackson Hayes as their starting center. They go out and get Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and that very, very highly valued 2031 unprotected first-round pick, and then a 2030 pick swap. So the Lakers get Mark Williams as their starting center for the future to pair alongside Luka Doncic. Mark Williams, when he plays, is incredible. Like, he is a great center. He has the highest standing vertical stretch in the whole league, I believe. He has a 9 foot 9 inches standing reach or something like that. I think it's close. He can touch the rim while standing on the floor. He's crazy. But the one knock on Mark Williams that everyone knows, he can't stay on the floor at all. Like, he has been injured for a lot of his career. Like, the last couple years, he's been playing like under 40 games per year, like something crazy. It might be lower than that, honestly. So for the Lakers, it's going to be tough having Mark Williams as your starting center for the next couple years, like relying on him to be your starting franchise center. You got to keep him healthy. Like, that's really it. That's the only thing that's holding him back. If he's healthy, I like this deal a lot, but that's honestly a big if. The Hornets get Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and that 2031 first-round pick and a 2030 pick swap. For the Hornets, I don't know. Giving up Mark Williams is tough. The Hornets have really had the injury bug, so I don't know really what to think. Dalton Connect and Cam Reddish are real solid role players, though. Dalton Connect is a very nice shooter. Cam Reddish has been very solid defensively as well. And that 2031 unprotected first-round pick can be huge. That pick can be massive, but the only thing about that pick now, like before it was really sought after, now they have Luka Doncic, who's only 25 years old. We don't know if that pick is going to be as great for the Hornets now with a young player like Luka on that team. When it was LeBron and Anthony Davis, we were like, oh, 2031, they're both going to be like old. LeBron's going to be retired. That team's going to be bad. Now we don't know really where that team is going to be in 2031. Like, that team can be still good. So we'll find out where that 2031 pick lands in the lottery in 2031. But Dalton Connect and Cam Reddish, I really thought Mark Williams could have been like the franchise center for the Hornets if he just stayed healthy. The Lakers obviously think that he can be their franchise center. So I don't know. I like it for the Lakers. Why not? But that 2031 pick, I thought they could have gotten something better for it. Mark Williams is still really good. It's just a real big if he's healthy or not. Like, the health is the biggest factor in if this trade is good or not for the Lakers. And the only thing that'll help us know that is time. Time will tell with this trade. But right now, I'm just going to say I like it for the Lakers because Mark Williams is really good and can be a lot there for Luka and LeBron. Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish for the Hornets. I'm going to say I dislike it a little bit for the Hornets because we don't know that 2031 pick. Before, everyone thought it was like for sure that pick is going to be good. Now we really don't know if the Lakers will be good still with Luka. Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, solid guys to pick up. Dalton Connect can develop alongside Brandon Miller, LaMelo, and all those guys in Charlotte. So, and Mark Williams wasn't able to stay on the court, so I guess why not? The Lakers projected starting lineup now, if everyone's healthy: Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron, and Mark Williams. That is a solid starting five, if you ask me. The bench is a little iffy, but that starting five is real nice. So Dennis Schroeder, update on him. Man, he just tied the record for the most teams in a single season that he's been on. He was on the Nets, then got traded to the Warriors. Then on the Warriors, he got traded to the Heat in this humongous deal that was going on. Then the Heat to the Jazz. Then the Jazz to the Pistons. And now I think the Pistons are his final landing spot. And honestly, I really do like, and it's also funny enough, after a crazy quote that Dennis Schroeder had, calling the trade deadline modern slavery. Just a wild statement that he made. Just after that, he gets traded to like 4 different teams or something. So for the Pistons, picking up Dennis Schroeder, I actually really like that for them. That's the second ball handler alongside Cade Cunningham. He can run the second unit. I really like that for the Pistons, actually. Dennis Schroeder, as much as he's getting traded right now and as much as he's getting like picked on or laughed at, I think he's still a solid player. And alongside Cade Cunningham in that Pistons team, I actually like that pickup for the Detroit Pistons. Going back to the Marcus Smart thing, I have this thing I almost forgot to mention. Marcus Smart, trading him from the Grizzlies opens up a lot of money for them to re-sign Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been hooping this year. So they freed up space with Marcus Smart off their roster now. Now they can sign back Jaren Jackson to the deal he deserves. And that is pretty much it for the trade deadline. In my opinion, the craziest trade deadline ever. I believe like 8 All-Stars were traded. Like 8 now or former All-Stars were traded this offseason or this trade deadline. But yeah, for the most part, everyone got something. Like everyone made some sort of trade. And it was very, very fun to watch. I wish there was honestly more. I wish there was some like last second real good buzzer beater trade. And apparently, like I said, it was very close. The Timberwolves tried pairing Anthony Edwards and KD at the buzzer of the trade deadline, but it fell through according to Chris Hines. So it was close. This would have been one of the craziest days in NBA history. But that did not happen. But it was still a crazy trade deadline. One of the all-time trade deadlines, maybe the best trade deadline ever, entertainment-wise. We got Luka to the Lakers, Anthony Davis to the Mavericks, De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, Zach LaVine to the Kings, Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, Brandon Ingram to the Raptors. Just a bunch of trades that happened. Very, very fun to cover. Got me back uploading again after I haven't uploaded in a while. Might get me back into uploading, I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy this. So if you guys like videos like this and videos covering NBA, current stuff going on, trades, games going on, high performances, whatever, hit the like button down below, subscribe button, notification bell, and you will be notified as soon as I upload. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.